The Google Nexus Event 2015 just wrapped up. We have more than a few products to talk about, so let's go ahead and get into it, and I'll condense it all down for you real quick. Alright, to start off, we have two new cell phones. That is the the Huawei Nexus 6P and the LG Nexus 5X. The Nexus 6P is the premium model, and the 5X is the more affordable model. Let's go ahead and talk about the Nexus 6P. We have a phone that has an aeronautical grade aluminum body, 7.3 millimeters thick, very, very thin. The colors are frost white, aluminum, and graphite. The display is 5.7 inch AMOLED display, 2560 by 1440p, around 518 ppi. The Qualcomm Snapdragon 810 processor is inside version 2.1, so the heating issues are pretty much a non-issue. And the Adreno 430 GPU, 3 gigs of RAM, 3,450 milliamp hour battery, USB Type-C with fast charging, OnePlus. Front-facing speakers, 12.3 megapixel rear laser autofocus Sony sensor, no OIS camera. That also has 240 FPS for those who still like to do those slow-mo shots, with an aperture of f2.0. The front-facing camera is 8 megapixel with HDR+, which also has an aperture of f2.4, and is also able to record in 4K at 30 frames per second. That is both phones, by the way. It has a fingerprint technology in there called Nexus Print. If the last Huawei phone was any indication of how fast that fingerprint reader is, it's pretty fast. The money, $499 for the 32 gig, $549 for the 64 gig, and $649 for the 128 gig model. Now let's break down the specs of the affordable LG Nexus 5X. You have a 5.2 inch 1080p display AMOLED as well, with about 423 ppi if you're still counting. 2700 milliamp hour battery, Qualcomm Snapdragon 808 CPU, Adreno 418 GPU, 2 gigs of RAM, the exact same front-facing camera as before, except for this one is only capable of 200 FPS. The front-facing camera is 5 megapixel with an f2.0 aperture. It does also have Nexus Print, and it also does have USB Type-C fast charging. So in other words, going down to the affordable model, you don't really lose that much. The colors are the carbon black, quartz white, and ice blue. The money, $379 for the 16 gig and $429 for the 32 gig model. Now let's talk about the features that both the phones have, just to condense it down real quick. Both phones are obviously coming with the Android 6.0 Marshmallow. They have very little bloatware, and Google was adamant about decreasing the bloatware and making all bloatware uninstallable. Pretty nice. And they also come with a new warranty situation called Nexus Protect. Nexus Protect adds 1 year on top of the 1 year warranty you already get with your phone. So both phones have 2-year warranties, and Nexus Protect actually allows you to get a replacement phone and as fast as 1 day shipping. Pretty crazy. Of course, that depends on where you are. Both phones are Project Fi capable. Project Fi is Google's network, which allows you to literally stay connected as much as possible by hopping from cell tower to cell tower, and even wireless network to wireless network. So you can send text messages and calls over both Wi-Fi and both cell towers, and Google has partnered with various carriers in order to make that happen. And then both phones also have deep sleep state. That is a technology that Google talked about some time ago, which allows the phone to go into a deeper sleep when on standby, so that it improves battery life when you're not on the charger. In other words, when you're sleeping and you don't actually plug it in for whatever reason, your battery won't be as drained in the morning, so you have more battery life that way. And then we also have a new tablet called the Pixel C. The Pixel C is ran by an NVIDIA Tegra CPU, has a Maxwell X1 GPU, Maxwell being the name of NVIDIA's new graphic technology, if you guys are not in the know. 3 gigs of RAM, 4 mics for clear voice during Skype calls. That is a lot of mics. It also has Android 6.0 Marshmallow. And the key thing about this tablet is not so much the tablet itself, it's the fact that it also comes with a fancy Bluetooth keyboard that's $150, but it is able to support the tablet with some powerful magnets so strong that the keyboard itself can actually hold the tablet by itself. So you can hold the keyboard with the tablet dangling off and it will not go anywhere. It's pretty nice. And Google was pretty adamant, once again, about how good the keyboard is, the key travel and all that. So I guess it's worth the money. Maybe, but the thing about it, the tablet itself is $499. So you really got to put some thought into if you actually want to add another $150 onto the price tag for this Bluetooth keyboard. We also have two new little devices, the Chromecast and the Chromecast Audio. The Chromecast has been revised, thank God, because my Chromecast, which is downstairs, has terrible Wi-Fi signal pickup, and it was always dropping the signal when I was trying to stream to it. They have fixed that. They have improved the Wi-Fi greatly in the new Chromecast. They were pretty vocal about that, and of course it also has a bit of a new design. It's kind of circular and little weird looking and all that. It looks pretty nice, and I am quite interested in that. The Chromecast Audio is something that actually does not use Bluetooth. It uses Wi-Fi 2 or 5 gigahertz, so it has a greater range, and you can just plug it into any of your audio systems, 3.5mm jack, and you're able to stream your music from your Android phone to anywhere in the house pretty much that your speaker system has reached. So it just makes it easier to cast your music to any of your sound systems. The key thing about both these devices is they still maintain a low price of $35, so it is easily accessible for pretty much anyone. Here's some worthy mentions. Google Photos and Google Music have both been improved. They have various new features and all that stuff. The problem with it is I didn't see it that important to really talk about it as long as they did. So yeah, I'm just not going to. Just know that they have been improved. Hope you guys enjoyed this little quick recap of what happened at the Google Nexus Event 2015. If you did, go ahead and hit the like button. And of course, if you're not, go ahead and please subscribe. Other than that, please check me out on my social media networks to see what I'm doing in between videos, and check out Eshcole.com for more anime and tech content. With all that being said, you guys have a good one. I'll see you. Bye.